Hey guys, Dan here, and today I'm going to be going over snaps and constraints. Alright, so we're back with our 5 cubes that were in the isolation and tutorials, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. So yeah, we got our 5 cubes, and we're going to go over snapping. So what is snapping? So snapping, if you've ever played Halo, is similarly to this. You see how this isn't snapping now, this number isn't snapping, whereas if we hit A, that's A on the keyboard, you see it up here, A, it'll do 5-degree increments, which is really cool. So bit like Halo. If you ever played Halo Forge, you just put snapping on, and it makes it really easy to do 90 degrees and whatever. But say you wanted something else, you can come up here, like if you see me pressing A here, you can see up there, that's your angle snap toggle. So if you right click that, it'll bring up the settings for it, and you can change the angle. So we can change the angle to, I don't know, 44.2, right? Well, okay, we'll do 444.2, and when we move it, you'll see it moves it in 442 increments, which is cool. We can always change that back to 5. Just right click that, just change it back to 5 or 6, whatever suits you, but I'm going to go 5. And that's really helpful. That's basically all there is to it. A is that, right? And it's alright for rotation, doesn't really do much for scale or anything like that, but definitely one for your rotation. I basically always have it on. And then S, you saw me pressing that earlier, is snaps toggle. We're going to go over that dead quick. So snaps, when it's on, you'll notice when you try and move something, it'll start snapping. So we see our bottom of our cube here, it's going to the corner of that cube. But what if we wanted to turn our wall of cubes into a wall? Well, that's pretty easy as well. You'll notice that you'll start running into problems because it doesn't want to snap where you want it to, but you know, I'll show you how to do that. So what we can do is we can head over here and right click this, and we can actually choose something. See, we have vertice here. That's really cool, which means we can hover over a vertice, and you see now we've got a crosshair, not a cursor. Oh yeah, you need to make sure this is ticked. Don't worry about grid points, just make sure this is ticked. And you'll notice that we get a little crosshair over here now, and when we bring it over, boom, it snaps. We can do it for this corner, onto this corner, we can do it onto that corner, it'll go onto any corner we like, and that's really helpful. And this works for vertices, it works for edges. You know, we could grab this edge and we could snap it to this edge here. It goes for the center by default, whereas if we say we did a vertice, it snaps to all of them, which is really nice. I'm going to show you something called angle constraints. Your thing won't have this circle because I've got something called angle constraints enabled. So enable axis constraints, you see it changes that circle, right? That's really cool as well. So what this does, if we bring it over here, is we can go into top view. So I just did that by pressing T, or you can press V and select whichever one you want. And you start it by moving the axis that you want it to move in, and then you move your mouse over to what you want it to be aligned with. So let me go over that again. So we start moving it in the axis we want to move it to. Notice I can move my mouse over here. It's only moving up and down because I started moving it in the y-axis. It works the same with the x, so I could start with the x-axis. So just move it a bit over there, and then make sure you have to tell it what axis to do, so you just move it up a bit, and then it'll know for next time, or move it right a bit, and then it'll know for next time. And what we can do is we can actually go and pick a vertex. So let's say we wanted this to be perfectly aligned with this wall without touching it. We can do that, so we just do the X, and then if we do that, it's centered, but we can just grab this vertex here, and we can align it to there, we can align it to there, turn grid points on, and we can do it to here, we can do it to wherever we want, and it's really powerful, that tool. So then say we wanted to bring that to there, we can now snap it there, wherever, get the vertex, snap it to here, and we've done it the hard way, but you know, sometimes it's very effective like that. So we'll just bring our cubes back together there, bring them all, get them back home. Rip, looks like we've run out of control Zs. Well, we'll just do this one by eye, and you know, that's sort of all there is to it when it comes to, you know, the angles and constraints tool. Just make sure it works on make sure you remember that it works on edit poly as well. So let's say we had like, well, hang on, let me get bevel out. So let's say we have this like big sort of pole coming out, and then we wanted to make another one on this box. That's easy enough. So we just grab our face. You guys should know how to do this by now, so I'm not going to go through it. So we do that, and then we do this, and then we bring that out. Well, what if we want this to be perfectly in line with that? Well, that's easy to do, because all we do is we make sure we got our angles thing on, make sure we got our axis constraints on, because if we don't, look what happens. We bring it over, and it'll snap fine, but it snaps and goes there. We don't want it to go there, we want it to be almost in line, so we enable that. That's in the second tab here, remember. And we just grab our vertice, make sure it knows it's going on the x-axis. We don't want it going on the y, we want it going on the x, so we tell it that we want it going on the x, and then what we do is we zoom out and zoom into there, and that's perfectly aligned. Do that again. Oh, whoops. Just grab this vertice. Oh. We just pop it on there, and that's perfectly the same length now. And just to prove it, if we move this over now, you'll see that we got some nice Z fighting going on here. And yeah, it's really, really powerful, that tool. Definitely something to try and use in your workflow. And yeah, hopefully you know, you learned something. Put the cubes back to their original form, ready for the next tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. And yeah, I'll see you later.